Welcome to English StoryCafe. Today, we will explore advanced communication skills. It's an interesting phrase, isn't it? Advanced communication skills. When we talk about learning English, many people focus on grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. And yes, those are the foundations, the essential building blocks of the language. They are the mortar and the bricks. But once you have the structure standing, what do you do with it? You furnish it. You start to live in it. And that, my friends, is where advanced communication skills come in. It's the difference between knowing the rules of chess and actually being a grandmaster. The grandmaster doesn't just know how the pieces move. They understand strategy, psychology, and the art of subtle manipulation within the rules. Similarly, advanced English isn't just about using the perfect past perfect tense. It's about using language to achieve a goal, to persuade, to empathize, to lead, to negotiate, or simply to connect with another human being on a deeper level. Think about a conversation. When a non-native speaker is focused primarily on accuracy, their speech can sometimes feel stiff or hesitant. There's a mental barrier where every word is checked against a rule book. That's perfectly normal in the intermediate stage, but as you advance, you need to tear down that rule book and replace it with intuition. Advanced communication starts with fluency, not just in speed, but in thought. It's the ability to articulate complex ideas without getting bogged down. It means mastering linking phrases and discourse markers that make your speech flow like a river, not a series of disconnected puddles. Words like consequently, nevertheless, on the one hand, and in contrast, are your tools for building logical bridges between your thoughts. They signal to your listener how your ideas relate to one another, making your argument clear and compelling. Beyond fluency, there is the critical skill of nuance. English is rich in synonyms and subtle shades of meaning. An intermediate speaker might say, "I am happy." An advanced communicator might choose delighted, content, thrilled, elated, or pleased, depending on the precise degree and nature of their happiness. This careful word choice allows you to paint a much clearer picture for your audience. It demonstrates not just a large vocabulary, but a sensitivity to context and tone. It's the difference between hearing music played on a simple keyboard and hearing it played on a full orchestra, utilizing every instrument's unique timbre. Consider the power of register and tone. This is perhaps one of the hardest things for a language learner to master, as it is deeply cultural. Register is knowing whether to use formal language in a professional email or meeting or informal conversational language with friends. It's knowing when to say, "Could you please clarify that point," versus "What did you mean?" The advanced communicator can effortlessly switch between these registers. They can be commanding in a board meeting and relaxed at a networking lunch, all while remaining true to their own voice. Tone, which is often conveyed not just by words but by intonation and pace, is even more vital. Imagine saying, "That's a great idea," with a flat, sarcastic tone. The words are positive, but the tone signals the opposite. Advanced English learning involves training your ear and your voice to align your linguistic output with your true intent. It's about using stress and intonation to highlight the most important parts of your message, ensuring that the emphasis lands exactly where you want it. Another hallmark of advanced communication is the mastery of implication and idiomatic language. Implicature is what is suggested rather than explicitly said. It's reading between the lines. When a colleague says, "That presentation was certainly comprehensive," they might be implying it was too long or overly detailed. A non-native speaker might take the word comprehensive literally and assume it was a compliment. The advanced learner, tuned in to the underlying dynamics of the conversation, understands the subtle criticism. They understand that communication often happens in the spaces between the words. Idioms, of course, fall into this category. They are the flavor, the spice of the language. While overusing them can sound unnatural, knowing when to deploy phrases like "to hit the nail on the head," "to bite the bullet," or "to throw in the towel" adds a layer of naturalness and sophistication to your speech. It signals that you are not translating in your head, but thinking in English. It shows you have internalized the cultural shorthand. But perhaps the most profound advanced communication skill is active listening and responsive speaking. This is not just waiting for your turn to talk, it is truly absorbing what the other person is saying, processing their emotions, and formulating a reply that acknowledges and builds upon their contribution. In a negotiation, for example, the advanced communicator doesn't just state their terms. They first rephrase the other party's position to show they have been heard. So, if I understand correctly, your primary concern is the delivery timeline, not the price itself. Is that right? This technique, often called reflective listening, immediately lowers tension and builds trust, making the subsequent negotiation much more productive. It's communication as collaboration, not confrontation. In a presentation, responsive speaking means being able to handle impromptu questions with grace and confidence. It means being able to paraphrase a difficult question back to the questioner to gain time and clarity. That's an excellent point about the long-term sustainability of the project. Let me address that by first outlining our 3-year plan. This skill showcases mental agility and linguistic control. To move from an intermediate level to an advanced one, you need to shift your focus from language as a system to language as a tool for connection. How do you cultivate these skills? First, consume authentic, complex media. Stop watching beginner-level videos, dive into documentaries, listen to challenging podcasts, read sophisticated novels, and watch historical dramas. Pay attention not just to what is being said, but how it is being said. Notice how professional speakers use pauses, silence, and variation in pitch to hold attention. Study how writers transition between paragraphs in a challenging essay. Immerse yourself in the intellectual environment of the language. Second, focus on output diversity. Stop practicing the same conversation topics. Force yourself to articulate views on complex, abstract themes, philosophy, ethics, politics, or advanced technology. Try explaining a complicated process to someone who knows nothing about it. This forces you to stretch your vocabulary and your syntax, moving beyond simple statement-response patterns to complex exposition. Third, record yourself. This is uncomfortable but indispensable. Listen back to a recording of a discussion you had. Note where your speech was clunky, where you used the same transition word too many times, or where your tone might have conveyed something you didn't intend. Self-correction is the fastest path to advancement. Fourth, seek challenging interactions. Don't stay in your comfort zone of non-native English speakers. Seek out opportunities to engage with native speakers in contexts where the stakes are slightly higher, joining a debate club, presenting at a conference, or having an informational interview. These situations force you to move past accuracy anxieties and simply communicate effectively under pressure. Finally, remember, the ultimate goal of advanced communication is not flawless grammar. It is clarity, impact, and authenticity. It's about being able to express the full complexity of you, your thoughts, your emotions, your personality, without the language getting in the way. It's about becoming a truly eloquent, compelling speaker and writer in English. You are no longer just a student of the language. You are a user, an operator, a master craftsman. The journey of learning English is not a straight path to perfection, but a spiral staircase leading to ever-increasing levels of complexity and depth. Every new word, every nuanced phrase is not just a point on a test, but a key to unlock a deeper connection with the world. So, as you continue your studies, remember that advanced communication isn't just about sounding smart. It's about being able to engage, to empathize, and to influence. It's about using this beautiful, flexible language to build bridges between minds. Keep listening, keep reading, and most importantly, keep speaking with intention.
Trust your voice. The language is already inside you, waiting to flow. Your journey into advanced communication skills is the moment you give yourself permission to let it out, uninhibited and with conviction. Embrace the complexity, embrace the challenge, and know that every time you communicate effectively, you are not just speaking English, you are expanding your world. Keep learning, keep growing, and speak your mind with confidence. We'll talk again soon.